Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. This is Marz here, and today I'm talking about Picard Season 2, Episode 1. Oh yeah, it is back in the house. Picard is back, and things have changed. It's been about a year and a half since the events of the last season, and everybody in the crew is scattered all over the place. Naturally, since it's Picard show, we don't start on Picard. What happens is there's a battle happening in space, and the stargazers involved, things are just going buck wild. Then what happens? The show shifts to Picard's winery, and when we get there, you can see him and his caregiver, Laris. You know, her husband is dead. You can see Laris is giving him the look, if you know what I mean, like the look. you know, she's giving him the look, and he kind of understands what the look is. They're having some type of emotional attachment, I can say, relationship. So she basically comes out and say, "Yo, kind of like you. My husband has passed away. You know, I think we should get together." And Picard, of course, you know, he's like, "Nah, man, I'm not sure what to do." He's just like all scared or whatever. You know. I mean, he really hasn't formed any long-lasting relationships with anyone in all the years of Star Trek, from what I can see. I mean, he's had a lot of relationships, but he hasn't had one person like, this is the person I'm going to be settled down now. I mean, goodness, he's like, what, 80, 90 years old now? I'm not even sure. It's kind of late. I don't think he's going to change that pattern. You know, of course, she takes offense and stuff, and she looks as though she wants to break out. We then also shift focus to Seven of Nine, one of my favorite characters. The Seven is out in space, and she's being attacked by some pirates who want to steal the medical supplies that she has. The Fenris Rangers, which she's still part of, are trying to take over. But guess whose ship she got? She got Chris Rio's ship. That's right, the La Sirena. And it's kind of interesting because the initial attack that we were seeing previously, the captain of the Star is the Stargazer, and who's the captain of the Stargazer? Chris Rios. He's now been reinstated. He is a full captain, and he seems to be running the show now. But digress. So Seven is by herself. She's battling these pirates. Of course, Chris Schiff still has the hologram, which helps her knock out the pirates and stuff like that, and gain control of her ship. But as we can see, though, that they are also saying these things. They're like, you know, calling her anti-Borg words. You know, the pirates are pretty biased. They knew who she was. And, you know, it's kind of explainable, especially with all the things that happen with the Borg. But, you know, now they're introducing the whole anti-Borg bias. How many people are actually Borg? Well, actually, that's not true, because they did kind of free several people from the Borg conditioning. So probably that's a thing. Not cool, but that's what they do. She's also, another thing, she lives alone. And Raffi, who was from last season, she is, I believe, part of Starfleet again, and she wanted to have some type of relationship with her or deepen their relationship. But it seems because Seven of Nine is constantly out in space doing whatever she's doing, they just have not been able to do that. What else? So, Picard, you know, of course, ran away from the situation. He has to go to the. Can you say he has to go to the school, because he's now the Fleet Academy, Starfleet Academy. He has to go back there now for a ceremony because he is the chancellor. But also, guess what's happening? Elnor, you know, the Romulan fighter who practically like his little son, Elnor is graduating from the academy. Huh? Who would have thunk? I'll tell you, this season they went in a direction I didn't think they were going to touch at all. But you know, of course, they're doubling down on the whole Romulan issues and stuff like that. But what can we say? We also see that we go back to the Stargazer, where of course we see Chris Rios, he's the captain, and we see what happened, what led up to the whole battle in the beginning. And well, not all of it, but we see part of it, where what happens is that, you know, he's the captain and he encounters this anomaly and just by himself, his ship, the Stargazer, and what he encounters is something saying Picard, get the Picard here or whatever. So they basically call the Picard to come over, to come and take to come out to space. You know, I mean, I've always had like all of a sudden they're going to call Picard all the way on Earth, he's the Chancellor, let's put him back on a ship and that's it. But hey, suspension of disbelief. What can you do? You know, so Picard is brought onto the ship, and but before all of that, let's go back to, guess who he saw? He saw Guinan. Yes, you know, Whoopi Goldberg is in the show. Wasn't expecting that. So Guinan, he goes there for advice, and she sees him, and she's in Los Angeles. She has a bar in the Howard Avenue district, historic district, and she's like, I see you're down, and what's going on with you, and it's about relationships. You got to open yourself, all that usual mumbo jumbo. So we're skipping all that crap. He then gets called to go help. Because of the anomaly, because that's basically where we are. And we're like, all right, good. We've all heard about what's going to happen, that there's going to be something crazy happening. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is where our boy Q shows up. No, 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 no. Not at all. This is when the board shows up, and they basically, the board, we can't really see because her face is heavily shrouded, heavily covered. And she basically beams onto the Stargazer where everybody's there, and it looks as though she's assimilating people. I'm not sure because they're shooting at her. She's in her ship. First, she's in her ship, and then she beams into there. She shouldn't have been able to do it because they have the cloak, the technology to block other people from coming in, but she does. And on top of that, they're shooting at her. When, she was on her cube. It's not even a cube. I don't know if it's like a star or space. It's not a typical boy ship. And she's, when she gets there, her ship is not shooting at the other ships. She jumps on board the Stargazer. She then starts trying to, it looks like a simulation. She starts trying to access their computers and stuff like that. She gets attacked, but instead of shooting back, she's just bouncing back whatever phasers, shots that she's getting, of course, knocking out of the company of the staff. And then you have, then she tries to take over the whole thing, the whole fleet, because by that time, there's a whole fleet of ships outside the anomaly. And of course, trying to do something. So she's trying to take something. And then Picard goes, hey, we need to do self-destruct. He does a self-destruct, and bam, it's over. You don't know what happens. They stop the board queen. And then we are back in the winery once again. And who is there but our boy Q? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What does Q say? Hey, how you doing, Jean-Luc? Oh, first he says, yo, oh, so you've changed. You've gotten older. So you know what? Let me change my appearance. I thought that was a cool way to deal with it because remember, Q is boundless in power. He's part of a collective. But the fact that he's like, you're looking older. I guess I look older too. Wow. This way we don't have to have that issue. Hey, why is Q looking older in the first place? He wanted to match Picard's thing. And of course, with his little flourish as always, John Delancey, he's just fantastic. But he basically says, hey, remember the trial from before that we had? It never ended, bro. It never ended, and for humanity. And that's that trial, I think it was for Pointation. The trial never ended. And so, boom, we're back to this again. And of course, the episode ends. Yo, I was surprised. There are many elements that I'm like, Chris Rio's now captain of the Stargazer. Come on, that's a bit much there. Picard being flown all the way out to the Stargazer. But hey, suspension of disbelief. Do I like the characters? Yes, I do like the characters. 7-9 always kicks butt. That's just it. But Q, where is this going to go? What is going to happen? I'm very intrigued. So hey, thanks for joining us. This is Marz, Spin Rack. If you like what we said, comment, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Spin Rack out.